Hey, fellow creators, I'm Kansas, and you don't know it yet, but I just became your newest creative bestie. Hey, friends, so I am starting a new series where I want to talk about different ideas and different businesses that you can do as a creative person. And with this series, I want to call it Creative Spark because I want to give you guys ideas that maybe you hadn't thought about, or maybe if you did, but you just weren't sure where to get started or how to get started. I just want to help you and give you some ideas when it comes to things like that. So today I want to talk about why starting a coloring book business might be something that you're interested in. And the reason why this one is the very first one is because this is something that I'm actually pursuing at the time of this video. So one of my passions, I have a background in graphic design and I do illustration. So I've dibbled and dabbled in so many different things. With that being said, if you are an illustrator and you love to draw, you can turn those drawings into line work and turn that into a coloring book series. So why start a coloring book business? So there's a few reasons. For one, it is growing in popularity. Coloring books aren't just for kids. There are adult coloring books that people do. I like to color my own coloring books. I draw them for my kids and but also for myself. It's just a way to relax and wind down and just do something that's very calming and soothing. Another reason why you might want to start a coloring book business is because of the low startup costs. Starting a coloring book is one of the cheapest, and I say this as a person that already has the Adobe Suite and an iPad and Apple Pen. Um, it is one of the cheapest businesses to start because it's very low in cost and you don't have a lot of upfront fees that you have to pay. Like with, say, for example, if you're starting like a t-shirt business, you'd have to get the machine, the shirts, all of the inventory and different things like that. So with coloring books, if you go down this route, you can use Amazon KDP. That's what I'm using. You can design your coloring book, get it uploaded onto Amazon KDP, and you don't have to worry about the inventory. So I use Amazon KDP, but I'm also working on trying to have my own coloring books in-house and design them and make them, print them, all that stuff. Um, but if you're just starting out, you can just start off on Amazon KDP until you can save up enough money in order to get the different equipment needed. So another reason is a creative outlet. So if you love drawing and you're not really sure what to do with those drawings and illustrations, you can always just share those ideas that you have and put it into a coloring book and then have someone purchase it and they can color in your designs. Another reason is passive income. So once you have your coloring book uploaded onto Amazon or even on your website, and just say, for instance, on your website, you are selling it as a digital product, that will be passive income. Someone can buy it and it will just restock over and over. You don't have to worry about it. Same thing with Amazon KDP. Once you get it uploaded onto Amazon KDP, you don't have to worry about it anymore. You can check on your sales and see those numbers coming in, and that's it for it. But if you are trying to have the physical coloring books that you make yourself, versus selling it on Amazon KDP, you can take those coloring books and have them in your studio, but that won't necessarily be passive because you will have to print it out and assemble the book, pack and ship it. Okay, so it can be passive income if you strictly go the route of Amazon KDP. The last reason that I want to mention is just impact. Your work can inspire creativity in others. It can lift the mood of others. Some people may use it as a form of self-care. But either way, it can really provide moments of joy and creativity for others. So the next thing I want to talk about is the steps to starting your coloring book business. The first thing that you're going to want to do is get your tools together. That's number one. If you already have a background in graphic design, you may already have some of these tools like Photoshop, the Adobe Suite, that includes Photoshop and Illustrator, and even InDesign. So if you have that, you're going to need those tools in order to assemble your book. Another thing that you will need is an iPad and a iPen, or an Apple Pen. I'm sorry. You need an Apple Pen and an iPad to do your illustrations. And with your iPad, you'll need to have the Procreate app. In the Procreate app, you can do all of your drawings, your illustrations, and get all of your thoughts and ideas out. I will say, if you do not have an iPad and you don't want to invest, you can always use a pencil and paper and use a black like a Sharpie marker and outline that, and you can put that into Illustrator and turn that into you can trace the line, and then it will clean the lines up for you. But that's also another video for another day. That will be a whole tutorial. So I mentioned a little bit of the steps earlier, but the first thing you want to do, some people say niche down. You can niche down, but if you are like me, I'm kind of all over the place. I have so many different things that I want to do, so many different styles that I want to do. So I will say, maybe when you're starting out, you might want to gather your ideas and niche down as you go along. But that way, like, if you gather your ideas and you come up with all of the different things, and maybe if you want to do a seasonal coloring book, or what's out now, like bold and easy coloring books, it's so many different things that you can do. So the first thing I'd say is gather your thoughts and ideas on what you want to do for your coloring book. The next step would be to create your designs. That's the next step. So again, when you are creating your designs, you can use Procreate. I love Procreate. That is one of my favorite things to use because it's so simple. You can change the settings for the pen tool, and you can streamline it so that way your lines come out very, very clean, and you don't have to go worry about going into Photoshop or Illustrator to clean those lines up. I love Procreate. But if you don't have Procreate, again, you can use a pencil and paper. Then the next step would be to compile your book. So get all of your designs together so that you can have a cohesive layout. For this, I like to use Canva. You can use Canva. I also have the Adobe Suite, so I can use InDesign as well, but I find Canva is a whole lot easier, and I can just house all of my designs right there in it. It is an additional fee, I believe, to use that version of Canva where you can, upload your work and export it as a PDF, I believe. I'm not sure. I pay for it because I use different features. But that would be something to look into. I will see if I can put it in the notes or something like that. But yeah, Canva is another option that you can use to assemble your book. I love Canva. So my whole process is design in Procreate, assemble in Canva. And then once I have it in Canva, I export it as a PDF and upload it onto Amazon KDP. Keep in mind, you also need to design a cover for your book, for your coloring book. So the front and the back of the coloring book. And there are different settings. Amazon has different settings. They have a list of it to where it shows you what size it needs to be for your book. So it depends on the size. I usually do like a 8.5 by 8.5 coloring book, square coloring book. And then Amazon will tell you what size the cover page needs to be. So yeah, that's the next step, is to compile your book. So the next step is to basically choose a printing option. I've been talking about Amazon KDP for the most part and also printing yourself, but you can also go through different printing companies that are local to you. You can check online and look at different options that have printing options. I think there are some like other publishing companies that you can go through. I'm not sure about the fees, but I feel like it's very beginner friendly to use Amazon KDP. And the last thing, this is something that I'm working on myself. It is a struggle for me at the moment, just because it is time consuming, and when it's just you and you're just starting out, it can be a lot when you're trying to create the designs, put the designs together, put the books together, get it on Amazon. It can be a lot. So, the very last one is to market your book. That is the only way that you're going to be able to get people to purchase your book is to market it, because I have noticed, I mean, it could be some lucky people out there where they just list their book and they get all the sales in the world. But if you market your book, you have more opportunity to reach more people. If you upload your book and nobody knows about it, it's going to be very hard for you to get sales in, because nobody knows about it. You know, Amazon is a huge marketplace. There's so many people getting into coloring books, but I do still believe that there is space for everyone. So don't let that discourage you at all. Don't let that discourage you. You just have to find a way to market yourself. You can even go to craft fairs that are local to you. You can go to different cities. I know there's a huge like craft con in New York, and I think in Atlanta. So it just all depends. But that is one of the biggest things, is to market yourself. The last category that I want to leave you with is some tips and tricks for success. So I guess the main thing is to start small. For me, I am creating a series where it's seasonal, and my characters, they are called Paw Pals. So in Paw Pal land, my little characters, they go on these adventures in the different seasons, so spring, summer, winter, fall, and they have all these little activities that they do together. They're friends, and for them, they are, it's kind of like a snapshot. So it's Paul Pal Polaroids, and it's like a snapshot of the adventures that they're doing. So I wanted to release them before the season. So if I did the summer coloring book, I tried to release it before, but being that I waited to like the last minute, like I was working on it in, I want to say May of last year, May of 2024. I was working on the coloring book, and it got pushed all the way until like July, so it was like already summer. So it just makes it a little more difficult when you don't plan. So start small and plan. Um, you may have all these different ideas of things that you want to do for your coloring books, but again, find the one thing that you are really passionate about creating a coloring book and do that first. So that would be my first tip for you. My second tip would be to just test your designs out. Test them out with your friends, test them out with social media, like your social media following, and just see what they think. You can even do like some digital prints of them, or digital downloads of them, and let people download them. They can print them out at home and just see what they think, if they like the design. And yeah, if they think that it'd be something great that you can continue to do, just test it out. That would be my next tip. So this next tip is something that I'm currently working on myself. This one would be to batch your work. So for this, I think it's really important to set aside time where you sketch, set aside time where you are formatting your book, and then also set a time for marketing your book. So this all boils down to, just making time for the coloring book, and not basically not having so much on your plate to where you feel overwhelmed and you don't want to finish the coloring book. So yeah, so just set aside time to batch your work, and that way you can have a streamlined process of creating the coloring book. So the next tip that I would say would be to build your brand. So this is coming from a graphic designer. So build your brand. You don't necessarily have to jump straight into it with a brand, but with my background in graphic design, everything that I do, I want to default. The very first thing is I'm creating a brand for it. Immediately when I get an idea in my head, I'm already figuring out a logo and my color palettes and the thing, all of the things, you know. There are so many different tutorials on how to start a brand, how to create your brand, the different tools that you can use to create a brand, just so many different things. I do plan to make more tutorials to go deeper, but for now, this is just for inspiration. So yes, the number 4 tip, I believe, is to build your brand. Lastly, I think this is tip number 5. The last tip that I want to leave you with is to engage with your audience. So that is a big part of just marketing your book. I have been doing very terrible in this category, only because so at the time of this video, TikTok is, we don't know. We don't know if TikTok is gonna be banned. The whole week, this whole week, it is January 18th. This whole week has been a back and forth tussle between, are we gonna stay, are we gonna go? So even before the ban, all of the looming, the gloom and doom, I just kind of backed away from TikTok altogether. It started, you know, trying to get my footing on TikTok maybe in it was October, I think. October. And then it started to, you know, be more talk of, oh, TikTok is gonna get banned. So I just altogether like, you know, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired. So I just kind of backed away from it, and I wish I hadn't done that, because we don't know, like, we don't know what the future holds. Hopefully it doesn't get banned and I can pick back up on that. But for now, you know, the main thing I would say, going back to the tip itself, engaging with your audience, the main thing I will say is, if you are using social media, which I would highly suggest, use social media to engage with your audience. When they comment and they say, hey, this looks, however, whether it looks good, it doesn't, you know, tell them thank you, you know, for the feedback, take it into consideration. If you want to use it to change anything or keep going with what you have, just use it as a way to just use it as constructive criticism. That's what I'm trying to say. So use it as constructive criticism. And also, again, it builds a community. Like, you're talking to your audience, you are building your tribe, your community of people who are very interested in the work that you have. And it's just being kind. So with myself, again, like I said, if TikTok comes back, I will. So you know what? I said engage with your audience, but also be consistent. That's my thing. So I engage with my audience all the time, but the consistency, when my schedule gets really busy, I kind of shut off all things creative. That's why that's really why I started this series, because I have so many ideas and just all kind of like creative thoughts going through my head. I'm like, somebody needs to hear these things. So hopefully somebody takes these ideas and runs with them and just has success from all these thoughts and ideas. So yeah, circling back, going back, engage with your audience and stay consistent. Be consistent. That is the only way to see success. So yeah. So that's it for this video, bestie. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some sort of inspiration from it, because that is going to be the whole idea of this Creative Spark series, where I'm going to be coming to you every week. Fingers crossed, y'all. My consistency is key. It's just, okay, we're gonna try though. We're gonna try, I promise. We're gonna try really hard. So Yes, so I would love to come back every week and drop a video that is some type of creative business for you to jump into. Especially it's beginning of the year. We all want to, try some type of endeavor, and why not have it be creative? There's so many different things that you can do to use your creativity and bring joy to others, but also, get that creativity out and just have fun while you're doing it, doing something that you're passionate about, something that you love. um, so yeah, so I will see you next week. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. And also opinions, ideas. What do y'all think? Did I yap too much? Was I talking too much? Just let me know. This is my very first like, I guess, face-to-face video. I'm not sure what they call it in the YouTube streets. I don't know, girl. So yeah, just let me know what you think. Do I talk too fast? Let me know. Give me some constructive, nice, we're gonna keep it cute in the comments, right? Yeah, leave me some comments below. Let me know what you think, and until next time, thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.